Masturbation is one of the most common yet misunderstood aspects of the human sexuality. So you might ask yourself, is it harmful to my health? Well, some people believe that it is harmful and it should be entirely avoided. However, others argue that it has health benefits. So where does the truth lie? Hello everyone, my name is Samantha Taveramo, a graduate nurse currently into emergency medicine, pre-hospital services and intensive care. Still passionate about health education. So according to our intro already, you already know about what we're going to discuss about, but I want us to break it down step by step, looking at the common myths, potential benefits, negative effects, why is it becoming a problem in today's youth, and also practical ways to avoid or control excessive masturbation if this is starting to affect your life. So let us get into the topic. So let us start with the myths and the misconceptions that are surrounding this for over generations. The first one that I normally hear, that it causes blindness and infertility. Number one, there is no scientific evidence to support this. So it does not cause damage to the eyes or cause blindness. And it also does not affect fertility permanently in men or women. However, excessive ejaculation in a short period can affect the sperm concentration. But the sperm levels normally return to normal after a break. So just be very, very mindful of this. Another myth that I've heard is masturbation reduces sexual performance. Now, if you're doing it moderately, this is not going to cause erectile dysfunction or low libido. However, if you're doing it excessively, at the same time watching porn scenes or pornography, this is going to desensitize your brain, making real life sexual experiences less satisfying. So adding on to the last myth that I've had is masturbation leads to physical weakness. Some cultures believe that it drains the body's energy, leading to fatigue, hair loss, body weakness. However, there is no scientific evidence or backing of all this. If you do it excessively, you're going to be fatigued due to the release of the dopamine and the serotonin. These two hormones induce relaxation, and that is why you're going to be fatigued. Now, those are some of the myths that I had for you. Let us now talk about the health benefits. There are people who believe that there are health benefits, so let us discuss them. Number one, it relieves stress and promotes relaxation. Now, it triggers the release of dopamine and endorphins, the body's feel-good hormones. This provides a temporary mood boost and also helps relieve the anxiety and the stress that the person could be having or facing. Number two, it improves the sleep quality. Now, after an orgasm, the body normally releases hormones oxytocin and prolactin, and these ones help to improve relaxation and sleep. So this one is normally helpful to people who have insomnia or people who have stress-related sleep issues. And that is the reason why people who normally masturbate normally do it at night, so that they can have improved sleep or they are able to sleep at night. My third benefit, and the most interesting one, is it may help with the prostate health for men. Some studies have shown that regular ejaculation normally helps to flush out the toxins from the prostate, reducing the risk of prostate cancer. All I can say beneath this point is people should be more educated about prostate cancer, especially men. Not having sexual intercourse is not the only cause that is going to put you at risk of getting prostate cancer. Men should know that genetics play a huge part in prostate cancer. If your uncles, your father, your grandparents have been having all prostate cancer, you should be screening yourself. Another thing is age. The more the men grow, the more they are at risk of getting prostate cancer. I don't know if they know that. Another thing is diet, exercises, all the things. Just get more information. It is not only not having sexual intercourse that is going to put you at risk. It is one of the causes that is going to make a man at risk of getting prostate cancer. The best advice I can give men here is get time and screen yourself regularly for prostate cancer. Like, make sure that prostate health is part of your schedule. That is the only way that you're going to be healthy, than you only getting one point, that is sexual intercourse, and running with it, thinking that you're going to protect yourself fully. My fourth point is the lower STIs or UTIs, sexually transmitted infections, urinary tract infections. First of all, what you should know is masturbation is a solo activity. You're doing it alone. So there is no risk, there is no fear that you're going to get a UTI or an STI. Similar to that is another point, or addition to that, is no pregnancy or no risk of pregnancy. Same explanation. This is a solo activity, so you are in the clear. And my last point, it helps young people to manage their sexual urges by providing a self outlet for sexual tension, reducing the likelihood of risky sexual behavior and premature sexual activity. I think the best explanation I can give you here is children or kids who are like 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. These are young people. Masturbating can be a safe outlet for them to manage their sexual urges than them actively being involved in that real sexual activity or intercourse. Sometimes the people who are willing to teach them may not be the same age, they may be older than them, and they may have perverted minds. So this could be a safer outlet for them than the other part. And another thing with this, there is lower risk of UTIs, STIs, unwanted pregnancies. So at least the kids will be safer as long as they do not do it excessively than them being actively involved in the premature sexual activity. I mean, a person who is like 13 years old starting sexual intercourse. I know some people do it, and in some countries it's a normal thing, but that is practically a child. And for example, if they become pregnant, they'll be just giving birth to a fellow baby. So for me, I feel like a child who is 13, 14, 15 shouldn't even be thinking about that. They should be playing. But we are in a generation today where kids are exposed. Kids know these things. So it is better for them to have the right information than them getting information from the wrong people. So let us be mindful. Let us try and have discussions with our children. Let us make sure that they get the right information. So those are some of the benefits that I have. I think it's time for us to discuss the negative effects of this activity. So while of course the benefits exist, excessive masturbation also has negative effects, which we're going to explore next. My first point is it disrupts our daily life. So some people tend to lose control over it and become addicted to it. And this interferes with our day-to-day activity. For example, school, work. So people tend to lose concentration and cannot perform productively at school if you're a student, and also at work if you're a person who is working. Therefore, it reduces or it decreases your level of concentration, because when you are addicted to something, that means it's giving you pleasure. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel a certain way, and you want to do it more and more. So it's very, very rare for you to think about another thing. The only thing you think about is that thing that gives you pleasure. And that is the reason why people who are on drugs find it hard to leave them, because of how they feel. And the same thing is going to be about the masturbation. If a person is feeling good doing it and they become addicted to it, in the long run, the only thing they'll be thinking about is that. And then it's also going to affect our relationships. I already talked about it. A person tends to reduce their satisfaction, or a person tends to have reduced satisfaction from the real life sex experiences because of this activity. And therefore, for example, if they are married or in a committed relationship, this is going to affect that relationship deeply. Some people may also feel guilty due to their religious, cultural, or even moral beliefs. And especially those that have lost control over the habit, they will feel extremely stressed, anxiety, and even self-hate. I'm not going to speak for other religions, but I'll speak for myself. I'm a Christian woman. So definitely, if you lose control over this habit, it becomes an addiction to you. It becomes everything to you. You feel like you are betraying your God. These feelings are valid. This is how some people feel. They may feel guilty. They may feel like you're betraying God. You may hate yourself for that, but don't worry. There is help at the end. Continue watching this video. Another point is social isolation. So some people tend to avoid social activities and also avoid real life experiences or real life relationships due to excessive masturbation. So someone can say, I really don't need anyone. I can satisfy myself. I can provide for myself. I don't need people. There are people who are not lonely. They're just comfortable with their own company. So a person may be there and they feel like, I don't need gatherings, I don't need friends, I don't need a relationship, and they're comfortable how they are. This affects everyone, because at the end of the day, no one is an island. We need each other. Another point is decreased self-esteem. Some people feel dependent on it for emotional relief, that this can lower their self-confidence and self-worth. So please be mindful. Remember who you are. This is not everything. And then there's also decreased sexual sensitivity. I already talked about this. If someone is doing it excessively, they're going to reduce their real life sexual experiences and also reduce their arousal, their sexual arousal. So please be mindful when you are masturbating. You can also talk about the negative physical changes that may take place. So some people may experience inflammation, skin rashes, redness of their private organs due to the excessive friction. So I do not know how people do it, but if you're excessively doing it, you are going to have some rashes, some wounds, some redness down there. Then also lastly, something I talked about is the low sperm count. Yes, this happens because of the frequent ejaculation. So remember that the frequent ejaculation can temporarily reduce the sperm concentration, affecting fertility in a short term. Why is masturbation becoming a problem in many young people today? My number one point is easy access to pornography. The internet has made porn easily accessible to anyone. That includes our children at a very young age. So this creates a sense of dependency, unrealistic expectations, and also this. So number one is most of our parents are buying phones for their children at a young age, tablets for their children at a young age. Kids are watching anything at the young age. Remember that now this is through films, you see, through the movies that our kids watch. This is on the internet. I remember one time there was a lady complaining that there was a game that the kid was watching, and the next thing is they were passing an advert of a porn, and the kid was watching. You know, when you have a smartphone, you're watching something, you on YouTube, you're watching something, and an ad comes. At least YouTube, there are guidelines, but I mean, you know, the things, you're on some website, you're doing something, and an ad comes, and it is something you didn't ask for. You're like, what is this? So the parent was complaining about that, and that got me thinking that our parents leave kids on their pads from morning up to I don't know to what time. The kids are watching anything on TV. There is no parental guidelines or anything. You do not know what your kid is watching. You do not know your children's friends. You do not know what your kid is watching at your neighbor's place. I feel like kids are exposed to these things at a very young age, and that is what is making our kids masturbate more. Because remember, they're exposed to this, they do not know what to do, they do not have the right information, and that is why I'm always advising parents to talk to their children. In this generation, if you don't talk to your child, the internet will talk to your child, the teacher will talk to your child, your neighbor will talk to your child, your children's friends will talk to your child. So it is better that your child gets the information from you than getting it from another person. It is not something that our parents did. My mom has never said anything sexual to me. I learned everything on my own in school, basically, because I'm into the medical field. But my mom has never sat me down and told me, you know what, Samantha, now this is bad. She has never done that. And I understand that because in the African setting, our parents are shy to even say some things to us. But in this generation, right now, if you don't not say something to your child, with the easy access, with the AI, those things will teach your child habits, and you do not want that to happen. So all that I've spoken about here, the main point is easy access. The internet has made everything easily accessed. That is the reason why our young people are doing it. Another point is stress, anxiety, and loneliness. So many young people are using this as an escape from academic stress, loneliness, and emotional stress. And that is the reason why I said you may not be having a factory of friends, but have 1, 2, 3, 4 friends that are always there that you can talk about things with. Then we go to lack of sexual education. Now, I already told you that here in Africa, rarely, I don't know if some parents are doing it, but rarely do parents talk to their children about sex. There are people who do not have information at all, and therefore most of these young people are using the internet, are relying on the internet to get this information. But remember, there is good information and bad information. There are also unhealthy habits that are on the internet. Everyone is trying to give out information, so it is up to you to see what exactly you want to take in. And that is one of the reasons I started my YouTube channel, to try and provide clear information, correct information about small basic health topics that I may have knowledge about. If masturbation is becoming a problem, then you should learn how to control it. Number one is identify the triggers. So identify the emotions, the situations, and the habits that increase your urges. If there are specific films that you watch, if there is specific music that you watch, and you have this increased sexual urge, try and stop watching it completely. cut it off completely. So identify the triggers that lead you to that and stop them completely. Number two, limit exposure to pornography. Try and reduce screen time and also avoid watching that content to break dependency. It may be hard, I know, especially if you're addicted to watching it, but taking small steps towards it can make a significant effect. So please reduce screen time and limit yourself from watching it. Take small steps, eventually you will get there. Another point is engage in productive activities. For example, go for jogging, read a book, participate in social activities, do hobbies. All these ones will help you to distract your mind. And if you're alone, no one is there, make sure that at least put on some worship music. Come on, do something that will eventually distract your mind from it. That is all I can tell you here. In addition to that, be around people, avoid isolation, because when you are around people, this reduces the temptation. So be around people. When people come at home, be around them, talk to them. When people are outside, go outside, interact with them. All this one is going to reduce temptation, because when you are alone, trust me, it's going to be harder for you to fight the temptation. Then lastly but not least, seek professional help. If you've done all the above and they have refused, seek professional help. So if masturbation is affecting your mental health, your relationships, your work, your school, therapy may actually help. So if you are being affected by it very, very negatively, I would suggest that you seek professional help. In conclusion, in some countries and culture, masturbation is a normal behavior, but when it is done excessively, it can have negative consequences. Myths and misconceptions will always exist, but science provides the balanced facts. Remember that if this interferes with your life, seek professional help, and I've also given you the control strategies that can help you control it. Let's open the floor for further discussions. Any questions and thoughts, drop them down in the comment section. Don't forget the drill. Watch, like, share, subscribe, and join the family. I'll see you in the next discussion.